Hey guys, this is Dan the GM, welcoming you to episode 69 of What the Dice. I know it means a whole bunch to me that you guys return, but it also means a lot to Keith, Ethan, and Nytlin, because every time you listen to us, we get another tick on our listener count, and it gives us this warm feeling, knowing that someone out there is listening to our antics. If you want to shoot us a message, you can always find us on all social media. We're most prevalent, though, on Twitter, @WhatTheDicePod. From there, you can see all of the weird stuff we've got going on, as well as links to our website, Discord, and all that. And of course, you're always welcome to shoot us a message. Past that, I'm going to let you guys get on with this week's episode. Sit back, relax, and enjoy episode 69 of What the Dice. As we approach the campsite that we have approached many times before, we notice that there are scattered footprints and drag marks everywhere. The storyteller comes from the woods, still holding his book under his arm. Giving us a slight bow, he smiles. "Ah, me friends, it seems as if the ones that were here a while ago do not know what it means when they are not welcome. But they learned this time. Please, sit, relax, have some water as we continue our tale. Last we spoke, the adventurers, the agents that we now know them, have met one of the strange groups that work within the Institute. They have gathered up a strange cursed item, and it disappeared. And they claim that they are studying it. But we do not know if this is the case or not. But as for our agents, it seems they had a good night's rest and are ready to continue on with their adventure. Sit back, my friend, and hear me tale." So in the morning, you guys still feel like you are under the protective eye of this group. But when you look around, you don't even see the holes where they would have put the pikes to hold up the tarp. You don't even see disturbed grass where they had the campfire.
Kalila is just going to be like, oh, these guys are good.
Impressive.
The one thing you do find is just a small piece of paper that is pinned under a single stone.
So, you mean like a paperweight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would anyone like to read said note?
Yeah, I was letting Clyde do it,
Sure, if I can understand it.
unless it's in catfolk.
In common, it's just simply, "We will leave once you have gotten back on the trail. Toy makers." As you finish reading it, the note turns to ash and blows away in the slightest of wind.
Seriously, what spell is that?
Good question.
Are you continuing on your trek?
Yep, back to the Holy City.
Yep.
The rest of the way to the Holy City is uneventful. The rain is still hanging around, but it is a soft mist. It is very overcast, and for the time of season, much colder than it should be. Arriving at the Holy City, there is the bustle of the city. Everyone seems to be awake and doing their shopping. Guards are patrolling, but you will also notice that there have been more shops that you would remember as magic shops, ones that sell enchanted items or scrolls or even healing, have been closed up or replaced with alchemical shops or potion shops, or what has become to known as doctors. People who practice medicine without the use of magic.
Herbs.
Yeah.
I don't think Herb has anything to do with this. He's a nice guy.
It's
Yeah,
possible.
that's fair.
Herb might be the name of the doctor.
Dr. Herb.
Mm-hmm. What would you guys like to do?
Well, we definitely need to at least let the rat folk know that we're back, and probably tomorrow ready to, or whenever the next Murdoch getting to the Zeppelins or whatever it was.
I need to contact the housekeeper and ask her if she's found a person that does permanency.
Oh yeah, you are looking for that spell.
I'll go with Kalila to the rat scholar.
Clyde, we will start with you.
Okie dokie.
Are you messaging her via the stone, or are you going to try to find her?
By message. That's the quickest way.
Okay. As you message her, she responds quickly, as if the stone was already in her hand.
Well, that's handy.
She informs you that she does know of a mage that can cast permanency, but he has left the city and moved into the smallest island in the rat folk territory.
That's all the way down south by my home, right?
Yes. When you look at the map, at the south there is a series of small islands that almost make like a bridge. He is on the smallest of the islands. She does warn you that this particular mage is rather difficult to deal with. A lot of mages thought he was crazy, but he was one of the only ones that was able to cast spells recently of very powerful abilities, and that he was the one that provided the paladins with a lot of the scrolls that they're still using today. He's one of the few mages that has been able to find a way to have a scroll be casted multiple times without the scroll disintegrating.
Cool.
She said that she has sent word to him that you would be heading that way, but she has not received confirmation that the letter was arrived.
Well, thank you very much for doing all that. May I get your opinion on something?
Of course.
Which would you think is better, in your opinion? Comprehend languages or read magic?
You hear mumbles as it sounds like she is talking to someone. Her voice comes clear through the stone again. She goes, well, I guess it depends on what you're planning on doing. If you want to cast spells using scrolls, you'd want the read magic. If you're looking to comprehend the magic that you're dealing with, the comprehend magic. But as a scholar, I feel as if understanding languages is more useful than anything else.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because the read magic means I can decipher any magical inscription. Books, scrolls, weapons, anything like that.
Well, then I guess it would depend on what you're planning on doing is, I guess, more the issue.
I understand. Thank you, because I'm also going to ask my other friends and get their opinion.
Well, I'm glad you view me as a friend.
Of course, you've helped us plenty of times already.
Is there anything else that I can do for you?
We have arrived back, and we're going to be talking to the Rat Scholar and a few other people. So, just informing everybody in the household that we'll be returning soon.
Of course, I will let Master Ishel know.
Thank you.
I will also let Sir Reginald know that you have arrived, in case you need to speak to him. I know that he said to me that he was going to be rather busy today.
Perfect. Thank you again.
Halila and Defibulus.
Yes.
You guys are heading down to the Institute of Extraplanar Studies?
Yes.
Yep.
As you all get down there, once again, the place has changed. You now see some rooms have small viewing glass, and others are completely sealed with just a small spot to look through. You see more tomes have been added to walls. Bookshelves full of tomes and books and scrolls. The lights have been set up to where now there's just a overall ambient light. Something calming. You also notice that it is not as echoey as it once was. You don't hear the echoes of footsteps around you, but you can still hear the steps of those close to you. You can hear the murmur of chats in different languages, as well as you see more of those men in that armor with different insignias on their shoulder plates. Some have names, some are just symbols. You see the rat scholar sitting behind a larger desk at the back of the room. You see multiple tomes are open, and he is currently what looks like studying a small dagger. In his eye, one of those strange jeweler's microscopes, as he is seeming to read something that is written on it. What would you guys want to do?
Sneak up on him and go, boo! No, I'm joking.
Wow, this place got upgraded again.
Yeah, no, I was actually going to say the same thing going, well, we've been gone a little over a week and this place sure changed quick. But Kalila will walk over to the rat scholar and wait for him to make a good enough perception to look up.
As you stand there, you hear him talking to himself. Well, this language is dead, and then this language is not. But this language has just been recently discovered. So I wonder if these two correlate, and well, I wonder what this religion is. No, these aren't religious symbols. These look almost like a thieves' cat. Thieves' cat. Why do they call it thieves' cat? Because thieves can do whatever they want. Because they're sneaky little bastards.
Not always.
The fabulous Kalila. Well, welcome. He sets the dagger down, which seems to give off a musical chime. Looks up at you and removes the strange jeweler's microscope out of his eye and looks at you guys. And so, is your family friend all nice and safe in his wherever he is at?
Aside from inadvertently almost burning down the bar, yeah, he's doing good.
Why would he do such a thing?
Oh, he didn't. I did.
He's your friend, and you're going around burning his
Wild
business.
shot.
What is wild shot?
It's some type of bullet that has random effects when fired. It's kind of interesting.
Where would you acquire such a strange piece of ammunition?
Oh, all over the place if you know where to look.
Well, I will definitely have to send out some men to keep their eye open. What does this strange shot look like, Mr. Agent?
He'll describe the shot to him.
Very peculiar. I will definitely send out some men to keep their eyes open for it and put it on the acquire list.
Oh, and if your agents are passing through that area where my grandfather's bar is?
Yes.
It's a safe, good place that if you tell them that you're working with us, they work with us, that you might help cut them a bit of a slack on renting a room or something.
What is this man's name?
Give me a moment and I'll tell you.
Hold on, I gotta look it up.
His name's Kazareth Ironfoot.
Yes, that I know that dwarf. In fact, I have tried to acquire one of the strange extraplanar weapons he has acquired over his travels. He refuses to sell it.
Yeah, Grandpa's kind of stubborn.
Well, it seems to be in good, safe hands, so I'm not going to send a squadron to acquire it, as long as he keeps it under wraps. And it seems that you've done a smart thing by disguising it, so not everyone can recognize it at a glance. And he is rather brilliant. And he is rather forceful in threatening people to leave when they are not welcome.
Oh, yeah.
I take it you've been to his place.
I haven't. I have sent a few of our agents to acquire that rifle, and after being threatened multiple times, I have decided it is best that he keeps it.
Oh, his gun? Oh, that thing is beautiful.
Yes, by what we have found, it is known as a riot rifle. I haven't found anything past that, and all the books that I have found that talk about it don't give much description, besides that it is solid black and seems to have very loud ammunitions.
I mean, I can't tell you how it works, but I do have sketches of it.
Well, if you don't mind letting me get a copy of them, that would be most
helpful for our studies.
Sure, but like I said, if your agents are passing through, just tell them that they work with me, and maybe Gramps will give them a room that they can use so they have like a safe house or something.
Safe houses, that's the brilliant idea. Having special locations where people can go and hide out if they're in trouble and it's safe. This might be a thing we must do. Yes. Oh, well. I see you have come back, and I'm assuming you're ready to head on and get aboard a Zeppelin and go see our friends at Godsfeld.
Yep.
Well, I have been in constant communique with them as much as I am able, and I've been able to get you some time there to help us research what is going on. Seems they are having a strange problem with power surges and strange winds that come howling from the depths of the mountain into Godsfell itself. They are doing what they can to keep it from disrupting the delicate balance of the building itself, but they are having issues with it. It seems as if the strange wind crystal that we are looking for might be buried deep within that mountain.
Well, that's convenient.
Yes, well, they reached out to us saying that there was some strange howling and dark whispers in the winds, and originally I marked it off as they were all nuts because they are dwarves that have come from the deep underbelly of the earth and have now had the chance to see sunlight for the first time, and sometimes that does not help a dwarf's mentality. That, and these dwarves are used to drinking swamp water, and swamp water doesn't always agree with one's demeanor.
If you live in a mountain, where are they getting swamp water from?
Apparently, there are small cracks in the earth that let this water drip in. And that is their water source, apparently.
But would that be accurate to call it a swamp?
Well, the mountain itself is surrounded by swamps, so I would imagine it is swamp water.
That's a good theory. The only other possibility would be like snow runoff.
Yes. But I've also had a chance to speak to their ruler in depth. They are not detecting anything that is anywhere related to anything that is like the bone illness that we have seen. No one is being revelry and drinking copious amounts of alcohol, and they are developing at a normal rate. They have not found anyone having any special abilities. They do notice that the little bit of magic that they did have has waned, but they have decided to more rely on strange technologies that they have acquired over time.
Technology is fun.
Yes, well, they have a penchant for finding technology not even you, Defibulus, could dream of.
I don't know. I have a pretty active imagination. Just ask her.
It's true.
I mean, I'm going to be making a spider diving suit.
Why would... There are already spiders that can dive. They are called diving bell spiders.
Yes,
they make little bubbles, and they breathe in them.
Yes, but Hugin is not one of those spiders.
True. I
This is
can
true.
summon aquatic mounts if we need them.
I probably can summon something too, but that's not the point. Also, you're not there, Clyde.
I know. Sorry. That's true.
He's
But-
there with us in spirit.
In spirit, yes.
Well, technically, he could just teleport there, because
Hugin, haha.
So he's just randomly summoned himself there. Well, I'm done. Bloop!
Apparently, Hugin.
Hugin's gonna get pissed at you.
Bye.
So now Clyde is standing there.
Hello.
Ah!
Clyde's gonna definitely be jumping and look down and then go, "Where's Hugin?"
Where I was. Back home.
20 minutes later, Hugin arrives.
Thank you.
Is he possessed still?
You know, I'm starting to suspect it.
Well, my dear agents, is there anything else I may help you with?
Oh, I need some information on a place called the Spire.
The rat scholar stares at you his eyes question your sanity as he leans in and he goes, "And why would someone want to go to such a death trap? I have sent several agents there and none have returned."
My grandpa sent part of the dragon gun there.
Well, then I would view it as gone forever.
Nah.
That's still not the answer to our question.
What information can I give you?
Anything you have available on it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, from what we have learned and studied from afar, the island is made completely of solid obsidian. Light is absorbed by it, and it is a constant rainstorm. Anytime we have gathered any type of rain samples, it has eaten through the strongest of metal boxes.
Like it's acid.
Correct. The water is always turbulent and moving in multiple directions at once. The handful of boats that we have sent in to test the waters have been ripped asunder.
Then how do you know the place is made out of obsidian?
Obsidian gives a very particular look when spied through a spyglass.
Ah.
The spire also reaches up as far as we can see into the sky. We do know that there is a central island that seems to not reach completely skyward. And at the very top, there seems to be a strange cave. But that's all we've been able to figure out. A couple of our agents that have done some preliminary research and have done some observations have just started calling it the Death Seas.
Yeah, that's pretty much mostly what I knew, aside from the whole, like, tallness, obsidian in a cave.
Cheerful name.
Yes, well, it is not the kindest of places, and unfortunately, no one can get us any more information past that. We have been trying to develop stronger telescopes and spyglasses to give us more information, but those are still in development.
I might know someone who's been there, so if they're still alive, I'll let you know.
Yes, well, we'd like to study more of this, but I don't want to send people to their death.
You send us after all kinds of weird stuff, though.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Well, have you died?
That depends on who you ask.
Well, if you are still alive and breathing, you have not been sent to your death, so my record still stands.
I mean, you sent us after the Bone God.
That's not technically true because there's resurrection spells.
If they still work. Magic, my friends, is still waning.
But is it waxing?
See what you did there. Just killed it.
Is there anything else that I might give you information on?
Is there a special knock or a password to get us into Godsfeld once we get there, since you want us to go, since you've been talking with their king?
Well, I sent a message to the Zeppelin that you will be taking. It is a special Zeppelin called the Murdoch. It is actually owned by a group of dwarves that have family that live in Godsfell. That way, at least, the Zeppelin will not be fired upon by the giant cannons that protect Godsfell.
I like cannons.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good.
So at least with that, you'll be able to land safely. I have written a note to hopefully get you access inside. But past that, it is on you to do your job.
As long as it gets us inside, that's apparently the critical thing.
I've gotten you as far as being able to land and at least spoken to. That's unfortunately as far as I've been able to acquire. I do have one message that has been sent out. I'm waiting to hear back. And if that comes back well, at least you'll be greeted, we'll say friendly. You will not have weapons pulled upon you.
Well, that's good.
So did you learn anything else from your friend, Mr. Defibulus?
I have all the locations to the dragon gun. What else have we learned?
that you only have a silver bounty on you and not one worthy of the gold or platinum you rightfully deserve.
Those guys were amateurs.
Oh, and apparently you're gonna be getting a tab for the bar being set on fire.
Oh yeah.
Well, I will do what I can to keep some of these funds taken care of.
Like I said, maybe we can work out a deal with our agents, use that place as like a safe house. That way he gets business and our people get food and lodging.
Yes, that would be useful. That is close enough to the cursed swamp that we can use it as a waylay station.
Correct.
Do any of these locations require our assistance in getting? It seems as if this weapon is important enough that the agency should be aware of it.
Well, you are a rat folk, obvious, giving a nod.
When did that happen? I guess I was transformed in some strange extraplanar problems. I've always been a rat folk, my friends. Always.
I never accused you of anything either, but possibly some passage into your lands? Help in the exploring the endless canyon, maybe?
Well, I can provide you with the equipment to get into the endless canyon. Something that will protect you from the extreme heat.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But yes, I will at least be able to help you with that. As for my kin, I could see what I can do.
Well, we can always talk to the ship rat
Jag?
guy. Yes, Jag. We can always
Yes.
talk to him again too. I'm
Well,
assuming.
Captain Jag does ferry goods from the Holy City to the Rat Capital. So I am sure Captain Jag will gladly put his name on the line to get you to speak with whoever you need to speak with.
You'll nod.
So, my friends, I will give you the tickets for the Murdoch. Digging through his desk, he pulls out 4 envelopes, all containing the seal of the Institute of Extraplanar Study. Now, there are 4 letters here. Apparently, after speaking to the Murdoch's captain, due to Hugin's size, he is viewed as a passenger and will not be put in the hold, as most pets are.
I wasn't going to allow that to happen anyways.
Well, I also was able to acquire you luxury housing. That way you may speak in private and is able to deal with what you need to deal with there. Now, I do want to remind you that this institute is still a secret society and only few amount of people know of us. This captain has been paid for his silence. As far as anyone knows, you are to help deal with some dragon problems at Godsfell because you are considered expendable mercenaries.
Dragon.
Well, yes, there are dragons about.
Well, what kind of dragon?
It's a lie, my friend. It's something that we are using to get you in case anyone asks any questions.
Okay.
There is no confirmation that there is a dragon. I don't believe a dragon would find himself that far north and in some mountain that is full of swamp gas.
That has a mystical item that can help change the world? I mean, it's possible.
Nonetheless, it is a lie that we have constructed to ensure that no one knows of our existence. These tickets are open to claim at any time. The Murdoch does multiple trips around the world. When you arrive with these tickets, they will be plotting the course directly to Godsfell. If there are any other passengers, they will be dropped off at a city near Godsfell, but not at Godsfell. Do you have any questions for me?
So what are the chances that we'll end up actually having to deal with the dragon?
Well, the last time we have seen an actual dragon and not a drake was one that flew north into the Arctic regions and disappeared under the snow. We have not had any confirmed cases of any type of dragon's attacks in multiple months. We did do some research on the strange drake that attacked your hometown, and it was, by all means and rights, a drake, and had crashed into the ocean and turned into stone.
Interesting. So it doesn't sound likely, since they're saying it's a dragon, not a drake.
Correct. But, like I said, this is a lie that we have constructed in case anyone asks why you are heading to Godsfell.
So if anybody asks, it's we're the ones actually starting the rumor.
Correct.
All right.
Think like a thief. Misdirection is always your friend. So are you planning on heading to Godsfell immediately, or are you going to try to acquire a few of your weapon pieces, Mr. Defibulus?
Well, Grandpa said there was one in Godsfell, so we'll head there first.
All right. Well, I do wish you best of luck in acquiring your strange weapon, and I do hope that it is exactly what you wish it to be. I know that every now and then when we find an extraplanar item and we believe it is something powerful and it turns out to be not, it's disheartening.
Like the fish sword?
Yes, like the fish sword.
You should find some of those leeches in that temple. They give you one heck of a weird acid trip.
We have already acquired them, actually.
What'd you guys do about the giant mushroom? What did that turn out to be?
We have decided to set up a small fort there to study it further. We did take out
Oh.
a small sample of those mushrooms, and they completely ashed when they are exposed to sunlight.
Interesting. Also, don't forget that's where those little mimic coins came from.
I was about to ask, how are the mimics?
Yeah, how are the little bitey bastards?
We have decided to cut their food down to once a month to ensure that they do not grow too quickly. But we have been doing quite a bit of studying. And we are still trying to figure out what we are going to do about the one that will only eat humanoid flesh. We have thought of using people who are on their deathbed, or people who have been committed of crimes that will be put to death, and use them. But several of the scholars and I have decided that that kind of thing will need to have a committee to decide if it is humane or not.
That was complicated, but all right.
Well, it's a complicated thing to deal with.
So how many more people have lost fingers to it then?
None. We have made it to where no one is allowed to enter that room at all. And it's for their protection. We don't want them getting out as well, so we keep those doors pretty well shut. We only push in a lamb once a month, and that is their meal. The fish sword has given us some information that of polymorphing swords and enchantments that seems to have given us a new spark. The strange pearl has given us information about undersea temples and strange merfolk that have found ways to exist in subarctic areas. Apparently, some of the scholars that have been using the pearl have been finding strange coordinates that match longitude and longitude lines on a map. So we have been studying that as well.
I wonder if I can get bullets that polymorph people.
It would probably be a part of the wild shot.
Yeah, but I'm thinking a lot more predictable than the wild shots.
Wasn't there some items in that one shop?
Maybe.
All right.
But just could you imagine the humor in me shooting someone and them turning into a fish?
Or a chicken?
Ooh, that'd be more entertaining. Or would it be foul?
Oh, it'd totally be foul.
Ooh. Good one.
I don't know. It could be another red herring.
Wait, but am I the only one that got
No, we got the foul joke. We all agree. That's why I was like, oh yeah, it's definitely foul. But then going back to it's a fish, like it's a trout, like so red herring. Is my brain anyway. Sorry.
Makes sense.
Both are fair. It could either be a another red herring or a foul. I hope somebody's growing.
Our GM has fallen silent.
Yes.
I am just letting all these puns get out now because I know that if I interrupt these puns, they get worse. If I let you guys go, eventually you burn yourselves out. All right. Placing the microscope. What is that jeweler's eyepiece called anyway? Does anyone know?
It's like a damn it! I knew that. Now I can't remember it now.
But I think we all head back to the house. We're done investigating the rat scholar.
Interrogating, you mean?
Yeah, interrogating.
He puts the jeweler's eyepiece back in and goes back to studying the strange dagger.
Back homewards. Hi-ho, hi-ho.
But we're going home, not to work.
It's off to home we go.
Back at home. Ishel is not there. There's a note that says that he is with the scholars doing some studying and that he will be home after nightfall.
All right, Kalila will get some dinner going then.
Oh, to answer your question, it's called a loop.
I would have never thought that's what it's called.
Yeah, same.
Throughout the night, or throughout dinner, you can hear the bustle of the city die down slowly.
Planting a Mexi tree after dinner.
All right. As always, a few minutes after dark, the tree sprouts up. The door, as usual, is closed, and the eye slit is closed as well.
I'm gonna have to actually pull up Mexi's shop.
But as you knock, and the eye slit starts to open, we end our episode here.
Well, it seems as if Defibulus got some more information about this strange place known as the Spire. But he did say he will be going to Godsfell first, holding true to his job as an agent. And the agents will have a chance to go aboard the Murdoch, one of the most luxurious zeppelins of the land. I do hope they enjoy their flight, for very few get a chance to ride aboard it. Well, I have that story for you next time, but this is all I have for today. And as always, me friends, may the dice gods bless your every roll.
We here at What the Dice would like to thank Paizo for creating Pathfinder, Epidemic Sound for our music, as well as Sirenscape for our sound effects. If you would like to reach out to us, you can do so on Facebook at What the Dice Pod, Twitter at What the Dice Pod, and of course email whatthedicepod@gmail.com. And if you liked our little adventure, please share us with your friends and rate and review us.